Yo, you already know it's your girl Jaas. You rocking out with Media Leaks.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Media Leaks. And I'm in the studio with the one and only Jaas. Let's get it, let's go.
Pew, 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 pew.
I swear to God.
Hey, what's up?
I swear to God, bro. Like it's been everything to get you in here, bro. Like you've been doing your thing. I mean, we know that. Like you've been doing your thing for the longest. But
like it's been hard to get me here.
Nah, hell no.
Oh, I was about to say, I was gonna talk to my management. Like, what happened? He's my boy. I don't do it like that.
Hey, no, man, he did his thing getting you here, man. Like I appreciate y'all. So we gonna dive in, man. We are.
Yeah, for sure. Let's do it.
Let's do it. It's so many different places I want to start. Like, I think I'm going to go back to 2021 with Why.
Okay.
I think that's where I want to start.
You want to start with Why?
Yeah.
That was the single. That is kind of what like solidified the project and just like got me started with Classic Studios and, you know, it's the first song I actually recorded with them.
You've given us great work over the years. You've been gone for a little while, but you coming back with the force of, I don't know, like 10 hurricanes, like, you know?
Aww.
So, like, how does that feel?
I mean, I feel like I'm just kind of like putting one foot in front of the other, to be honest. Like, just getting it back in gears, because, like, you know, when I take my hiatuses, it's for a reason. I don't just pride myself in being like an artist or an influencer or a public figure just because, you know, how I look or how, you know, it's more so like the message. And I always want to bring something worthwhile, you know what I'm saying, to the people, to my audience. And I think once I reached that, I was ready to kind of like pop back out. You know,
Okay. Okay.
So yeah, I'm definitely feeling like, you know, this the time for everything.
Okay. We've had this conversation before, but if you weren't surprised then, do you surprise yourself now? You like, yo. Do you think back and like think of the growth and like, are you like you pat yourself on the back? You know what I'm saying? You're proud of yourself. You know, you take you in. You know.
It's so funny, cause I actually remember you asking me this.
Yeah.
And I just, you know, like I said, back to like that one foot in front of the other, I think that we all are our own worst critics. So I feel like when people tell me like, you know, they proud of me, oh, you're doing so good, I'm like, it's so much further to go. Like, there's so many more things I want to do. So I stay humble in that regard, but I definitely know like who I am and my power. So I definitely like assert that more confidently nowadays.
It's like you've always been like a dog, bro. Like you've always had that in you, like you have, and it's like to see you excel on the level that you're doing now. Like you haven't dropped off. Listeners haven't dropped off. Like fans haven't dropped off. Like they waiting for you. Like they waiting on you.
Yeah.
You know.
No, it's a good feeling to still have like that support system for sure, especially like in Chicago. We not known for that, you know what I'm saying? That
Facts.
Support system, that like, you know what I'm saying, solid foundation. So, I mean, if we are, it's like on some tough shit, or it's on some like, you know, the drill scene. They'll come together for that. But
Facts.
at the end of the day, I don't know, it's a lot of places I want to take it. Like I actually kind of dived into I have like a TV show / podcast. I'm curating. I did the first episode called Tea Time with Jaas.
Come on, man.
And it's not like man bashing. I feel like a lot of the podcasting and stuff is just like women bashing and men bashing, and just like we kind of just bring in a perspective, you know. And it's really centered around like the playgirl versus the lover girl. Because I feel like I always get caught in the middle of that web. Like, I'm such a lover girl at heart, but, I mean, as women, naturally, we have this, like, finesse, you know, like, we not gonna, you know, do too much, but, like, we're gonna play the game, and we're gonna play fair.
We're gonna play the game, we're gonna play fair.
Yeah.
Okay.
If we have to.
That literally, like, catapults me into Man Down.
Yeah.
Because it's like, from the record and the visual, like it's like I get I don't want to say cockiness, but it's like a confidence, and you really, I don't know, like you confident in this space, this new space, this head space, this creative space, and it's like you can do almost anything, and like that's where you at.
Yeah, I mean, it come with maturity and growth and just like, you know, being seasoned. I feel like when I put my first thing, I don't even know when I put my first, it was like 2019. So next year be like 5 years that I legitimately kind of like am outside with this shit. And I just feel like I definitely, I mean, this is where I'm supposed to be. Like the comfortability, you know, knowing who I am, like knowing what I want to say. It definitely came out in the record. And shout out to Felix. He's out in LA, but he's worked with a multitude of artists, Grammy winning, like all that. He snapped on the production, I would say.
Okay,
like
okay.
The success of the song is definitely part of the production, I would say.
I mean, like, bro, like we proud of you. Like, I swear to God, like, and
I mean, proud. I want you to be proud when I get a Grammy and I be like walk across stage and, you know, that's when we talking. But I guess you can be proud of me.
it's coming, like.
Yeah.
So, okay, with this new space, with this new record, with this new foundation, if you will, your wherewithal to just step out on your own and really do your thing as a woman, as an artist, how tough has that been? And at the same time, how has it helped you grow?
Being, rephrase the question, I'm sorry. You saying?
Just your willingness to just step out, get a little uncomfortable to be comfortable, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, adjusting to that, being comfortable. I think I always been comfortable. I don't think I ever struggled with with that per se, but I do not like social media. I do not like social media. Like, it's not something that I just jump to do. Like, I don't wake up and be like, hey, y'all, this is my breakfast. This is what I'm saying. This is what, like, it's kind of like, that's a little mundane for me. But I do know that that's something that come with it. So I'm, like, embracing it more. I have a TikTok, I went viral a few times, like, just playing around while my hiatus was, with the music. But at the same time, it's just like, I want to utilize it as a tool. Like my manager, he puts it as like not content, it's context. So what, like, can you give the people that like gets them more into you, like who you are?
Who you are, yeah.
And like what you stand for. So I've been practicing a little more, and I think what's the P's?
Okay.
Proper
performance, proper preparation prevents poor performance. There you go. There you go.
Nah, for sure though. Yeah, definitely that.
When music is at its best, right? What do you think pushes it to that? Like when you have your best project or your best records, like what do you think fuels that intensity to go in the studio and like, okay, I'm gonna just lay this shit down,
I mean, so really inspiration comes from everywhere, you know what I'm saying? It could come from what I did that day. It could come from what my best friend told me 2 weeks ago. It could be, you know what I'm saying, the producer just kind of, because I work with like really great producers. Shout out to them. But like, I feel like it could be, what they're making at the moment. Like Chris kind of, when I came back from Atlanta, Chris Classic, yeah, sorry.
Boy, yes sir.
He kind of put me in the studio for like 2-3 weeks and just said lock in, record. So I like literally woke up, slept, ate, we put a little bed in the studio, like
wow,
everything for 2 weeks straight, and that's all I did. And so it was a lot of things that came out. It was kind of like a purge, like just everything came out. And drawing inspiration wouldn't be possible if you didn't, like if I didn't take that time to myself. Like that little hiatus space, I feel like helped like gather everything for that moment for me to go in and just let everything out, Like all my experiences, everything I had been through came out through the music.
Through the music, yeah. Okay, I gotta ask. Dating. what has dating been like? Like, what is that like
What
now?
it's been like?
Yeah, you know.
Right now I feel like I'm doing good. Like
Okay.
I don't have a roster and nothing crazy like that. Like I was,
I'm crying like yeah.
No, because I always been a relationship girly. Like I always been into, with somebody, like locked in, committed, and all that. Like, my stuff be lasting years at a time.
Yeah.
But like, after my project was about a breakup. Y'all know that. I took some time. You know what I'm saying? Like I had like a little playgirl phase where I was just kind of like, not necessarily sleeping around, but I was just doing me, and I was having my way. And I don't know. Like,
I get it.
It was
I
cool.
get that.
Now I'm weighing my options a little more closely.
You know, yeah.
Making sure I know what I'm getting myself into.
Okay.
Before I get into it.
For sure. Cause I'm asking because you got a project. You do got a project out, and it's called Unavailable.
Yeah. Exactly.
This
That's what it was for a minute.
Exactly. Like, this project is amazing, bro. Like, I don't know what you went through. I don't know who tapped who on the shoulder, and I don't know what Jesus did. I don't know what. I just know that if that's what make amazing music, like,
hey, I went through some things. I ain't gonna lie, but I mean, it's really like more rewarding when girls come to me and they, they be like, or men too. And it's like, this helped my situation. Like, I relate to this so much, especially why I feel like I go either way. But like,
they can relate.
Man down is funny because it's like a contrast from that, right? It's kind of like, okay, now I'm like, weighing my options, or I'm just kind of like playing this game, playing this role to see like who's really fit. But I did say a line in there where I'm like, I've been laying low since my heart turned cold.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, do I really want to represent that? It was the truth at the time, you know what I'm saying? But like, I feel like you got to keep your heart pure above anything, because everything flow from it. So now it's like, my goal is to get away from that part, and it's just like, man, still keeping my heart open to the possibilities, but guarding myself at the same time.
Okay. Damn. So, what's one thing that you could say that this has taught you? Like, if you was to do this, if you was to start over, what would you do different? What did you learn that it's like, okay, I know to do this a little more, do this a little less,
That's a good question. I feel like I wouldn't second guess myself.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times when you put in the spotlight, or when you in a certain position of like influence, you want to do the right thing, you know what I'm saying? So you want to be a perfectionist, but people learn through your mistakes, people learn through seeing your growth, people learn through seeing your authenticity. So that's something I had to grasp, recently, literally, with this hiatus. I kind of like found myself realizing that, look, people want to know what you've been through.
Facts.
To get to where you are. I usually like pop out when I got the results, everything, my production's done, everything laid. But I know people want to see that process, so I'm getting better with like letting people in on that.
Yeah, you teaching people too. Like, yeah. A lot of people look to you,
For sure.
And I feel like as an artist with that type of transparency, it gives them even more to like relate to.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Real quick, let the fans know where they can find you and your social media and your music.
Yes, my music is everywhere on all platforms. Jaas, that's 2 A's with an S. And social media is 2 A's with an S, XX at the end. No, the X's don't stand for anything crazy. You know what I'm saying? It's just
y'all heard it here first.
Mystery.
Okay. So I want to talk about influences in music. Have they changed? Are they still the same? As far as writing goes, being in the studio goes. Who do you look up to now? Who do you take a page from?
I'm really loving Friday.
Okay.
I'm really loving. I always love Blue Vandross. Blue is hard. All the girlies like her, SZA, of course, Summer Walker, like all of them definitely are influencing in one way or another. But when it comes down to like actually writing my music and sitting and penning it, I usually listen to myself that day or that time frame or whatever, just to not mix up, what I got going on in my creativity. But yeah, and then I dabble in. I go into like Afro beats now, like. They taking over, I feel like, a little bit.
Yeah.
Listening to just like sounds and feels, I love jazz music. I love, all types. I mean, I dive into different things. I've been getting into pop a little bit more.
Okay.
Like 2024, you're gonna hear a little more.
Pop is universal, yeah.
You're gonna hear a little more from me, like in another lane. So I'm excited to see how that does. But yeah.
Okay. In a city and a industry that is mostly saturated by rap, I feel like R&B is really, it's like the tension breaker, because when it does come, it comes hard, it comes strong, you know what I mean? So, to be different and to stand out from all the other rappers, or all the other sounds, you got a sound that's uniquely your own. You got a style that's uniquely your own. That's important. So I want to ask, like, how important do you think R&B is, especially now in 2023?
How important is it? Oh, man. I mean, half of us wouldn't be here without it, so I would say it's pretty important.
Half of us wouldn't be here without it.
I mean, the tough shit cool. Don't get me wrong. Like, if I'm ready to go out or if I'm, certain situations working out at the gym, especially, I'm turning on some drill. I'm turning on, what I'm saying, the harder rap stuff. But, yeah, definitely think it's a balance that's needed. Like, come on now.
Yeah, your
Who
girl wants
want to
you
hear
to be
that all the
soft,
time? Like,
yeah.
I judge him by how he picked me up and what he playing in the car. Like, what I'm saying? Yeah, a little bit. Like, I mean, because what's the move? What's the vibe? Let me know that you're not just listening to this all day. Like,
that's what I'm saying. Like,
can
your
you
woman
slow it
wants you to
down
be
a little
soft,
bit?
slow it down a little bit, and
can you soften it up? And yeah, like I like when there's a mix. I'm a person who listens to, like I say, all type of stuff. So. It's definitely important, but it's not dead either. Like, R&B is dead, is crazy. Like, how could you say that? So many talented people. It's about what the market is looking for and what they push, but it's here.
Okay. I just want to say that your growth has been, like, crazy over the past years, and I just want you to.
Crazy in what way though? Like,
it's a crazy trajectory
I know
though. It's a crazy
you really
trajectory.
have been like here since my first single. So I think shit. I think that's crazy.
Yeah.
Like that's crazy when Vince was around. Like you was.
Yes.
Yeah. This nigga.
So that's what I'm saying. Like just. Like when I say crazy, like I mean straight upward trajectory, and like you haven't like I get it. I get it, to taking time for yourself. That is important. But other than that, like you haven't hit the pause button. You haven't relaxed. You know what I'm saying? Your team is clearly making sure you on fire, So I mean, I don't think it get any better than that. You name some heavy hitters as far as women influencers and who you look up to. And I think that you around the right people. Mm-hmm. I do.
Yeah, not for sure.
I think your star is bright. I think you're going to go beyond any of our imaginations.
Aww.
So I mean.
Thank you for that.
We got your back. I just want to ask, like, have you had the chance to write for a few? And when you do, when they put it out to the world, how do you feel about it?
I definitely have had writing opportunities, and I ain't even got a name drop and do all that, but I've worked with some of the big people, And it's funny because the song Unavailable, that song was supposed to be for another artist, you know. It was supposed to be, I wrote it with Summer Walker's camp, Love, I think Love Renaissance?
Yeah.
I want to say Love Renaissance, yeah. Shout out to them because they have an amazing camp, amazing team over there.
And they have an amazing writer too, like, you know, like.
Writers, they have writers.
Writers,
you know,
that's right.
And yeah, I mean, everybody, all labels work with like the best of the best. So it was like a really great opportunity for me, but I wound up keeping it. They let me keep the song, and I went home with that, and you know, it started my project, which is, you know, now a thing. But yeah, I say all that to say, like, some stuff, of course, you know, I think to keep to myself just because it says so much about me. It's like so much my voice and story. But other than that, I love writing for artists. I love that. I hope I can, you know, have other opportunities real soon.
If you could, I'm not gonna say name drop, but if you had one that you could just like go crazy for, like, who would you pick?
To write for?
Yeah.
I really love Normani.
Okay.
She's super dope. I mean, it's so many, but if I could just name off the top of my head, I would say her. Cause like, I'm not a dancer, and I feel like I be getting in that bag sometimes. Like, you know what I'm saying? I feel like she'll make some of my songs pop, sexy, all that.
Okay.
You know, with her moves, but yeah.
Oh, bro. Okay. Well, I mean, I'm speaking it into existence. So I mean, you know, it's nowhere to go here but up. Like, I just want to thank you for your time, and I mean, you answered everything.
This is so funny though.
Hey,
like
I swear to God.
I hope, like, I'm gonna just say this though. It's like this Playboy Cardi interview I seen recently where like he was putting out music for like 6-7 years before he like got his big break or whatever, and they show every video like leading up to his, and he had like he morphed into so many different people and characters until he got to who he was. So like, I hope we can do that. Like, I hope you're here until like I'm on that stage, and you know what I'm saying, on that Grammy stage, and you're just like.
It's crazy you say that, like he had,
still here.
You said he morphed into like 10 different things. Like it's just reinventing yourself in a way.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like
every stage, every step this interviewer like had been like following his journey, and yeah, it was dope. It was dope to see. Yeah. And bro went back and interviewed with him, like, even after all the big accolades and stuff. So
we appreciate
I see that happening. Yeah.
Y'all gotta go get into go grab Man Down right now. Go plug your music right now. Once again,
get the vibes.
Let them know. Go grab Man Down. Go listen. Go stream. Go download. Go get it. Follow more interviews like this and more at MediaLeeks.net. Follow Jarrell Anthony, and of course follow our guest artist Jaas. Y'all heard it here first.